back to my channel. It is Christian here, and you're tuned in for more of my 2 cents. Today's video is going to be a good one because I will be responding to a DM that I received on the good old IG, honey. Surprised me because I was like, oh, y'all found me on the internets? Okay, let's do this. But before I get into that, I would like to welcome you to my channel. If you're new here, then thank you so much for stopping by. I'm so glad you're here. Hopefully you enjoyed the content and you will like the channel. It helps me to grow and expand this thought-provoking dialogue that we have over here, okay? And if you are returning, then hey y'all, hey, thank y'all so much for tuning in again today. I appreciate you so much, and I'm grateful that you continue to rock with your girl. So let's get into today's video topic. We're going to be talking about a DM exchange that I received. I will not be using the name of the person that messaged, but this person found my channel through my video on when I left church or why I quit church. And I think that this is awesome. So if you guys ever want to ask me a question, go ahead. You can find me on Instagram, child, at I am Christian Sargent. Follow me over there. The content is not the same. I'm just going to go ahead and tell y'all. But, you know, I'm living a double life. Not really. But I'm me, okay? So there you'll get to see me. And then over here, I'm deep and profound me. All right, not really, but I talk about spiritual topics and all the other things here. But yeah, if you have any questions and you don't want to send an email or you don't have time, you're not thinking about it, then you can definitely DM me anytime. And it's this message sat in my request folder for a long time. I didn't even know. I'm sorry, but I did respond, and I haven't responded to the last message that the viewer sent, so we'll get into that live right here on the video. So here's the message. Hi, I'm so confused and need your advice, please. My name is blank, and I live in South Africa. Woo, woo! Shout out to the South Africa! I am just so excited about this. Like, I had no idea that anyone from South Africa was watching my videos, but look at God. Okay, I'm South Africa. I live in South Africa with my loving husband of 14 years and 2 beautiful children. I saw your video, I'm done, why I quit going to church. And I have felt very disconnected to church for so many years, and at first thought it was the church I was in and tried to find another church, but still was feeling really empty and that it wasn't really doing anything for me. In fact, I started to feel like church was a burden. Having to go every Sunday. Sometimes I just want to sleep in and not wake up early to go, or just go hiking with my kids. That sounds lovely. Why, today is a Sunday, and I'm recording this video while the sun is beaming through my window. My daughter is playing outside, well, playing in the play area here, talking. My husband is working. I think my son is still sleeping. We are enjoying the day that the Lord has made. We are rejoicing and being glad in it, and didn't have to get dressed up to go to church to do it. Look at God. So sometimes baby girl want to sleep in. She don't have to wake up early to go to church. She just want to go hiking with her children in South Africa. Okay, honey. Wakanda forever. Do that. Do it, sis. Whatever you want to do it. Okay, so let's finish her message. I'm sorry. During COVID, while we were doing church online, really made me sure that I didn't want to do this anymore, with an exclamation mark. Going to church online during the COVID, doing COVIDia, okay? Let her know. Baby girl said, this made me sure that I didn't want to do this anymore. I love that for you. COVIDia really made it plain to a lot of people that they didn't want to do a lot of things anymore. Going to work, going to church, living with those folks. A lot of people decided a lot of things. Yes, Lord. Okay, so she said, I spoke to my husband, and he has been very cool about this, even though he still loves going to church and still finds it valuable. My dilemma now is that my husband continues to go and I don't go. And our kids are asking questions. Not sure we can help. Not sure we can keep doing it like this. Now, initially when I saw this message, I was like, well, what she want to do? Because it's not like she got a good setup. Like, you don't want to go, your husband do. He ain't bothering you. So what are we discussing? But I had to ask the question, and now I'm going to get some clarity. So I wrote back and I said, hi, I'm so sorry. I'm just not responding. I never checked my request folder. But first, thank you so much for watching my channel. And so I said, first, I would like to say it is good that your husband is understanding and respecting your choice and desire not to be burdened with church. That alone could cause friction and tension, which indeed it could. That could be a whole problem in and of itself. If your husband was like, no, baby, we gonna keep going. Today in the South Africa, we're going to go and you're going to like it. Okay? But that's not what he did. That's a good man, Savannah. Okay, I said, what I would like to ask is, what do you want the outcome to be? My God, we got to start asking this question. What do you want the outcome to be in what you're addressing as a problem? This is where critical thinking comes in. What do you want the outcome to be? All right. Do you want your husband to stop going to church also? Or do you want your children to not have to go with him? Now I'm presenting questions just like to see, like to help her get an idea of what I mean by what do you want the outcome to be? Because there's only two problems that you're actually really addressing. Either you have a dilemma with your husband going and you don't want him to go, or you have a dilemma with the fact that your husband's going and taking your children too. And I need to know which one it is. So let's get to her response, which I have not answered. So I'm going to answer it here and send her a message and tell her to watch this video. Shout out to you. So she said, hi, didn't expect you to answer. I'm sure you get a lot of DMs. Thank you. And I hope you are well. Thank you so much. I love nice people. And y'all have been so nice every time y'all message and reach out. She said, I don't really want to force them to stop, especially because my husband has been so cool about my decision. I guess I'm more worried about what people at church will say if he continues coming along with the kids. What? Y'all, this is my first time reading this, and I am here for the honesty. Yes, God on today. Okay? I love it here. I love it here. This is beautiful. Thank you for being honest. I don't really want to force them to stop, especially because my husband has been so cool about my decision. This line actually is the answer. Leave him alone. But before we get there, let's reverse. She says, I guess I'm more worried about what people at church will say if he continues to come along with the kids. How can I say this nicely? We don't give a damn what the people at church say. Just respectfully, with love, as Michael Jackson would say, with love. With love, we do not care what the people at church will say, because let me tell you, the freedom, okay, she's got more to this sentence, but I gotta say this. There is so much freedom in knowing your situation that works for you and caring about that more than you care about other people's perception of your situation and how it works for you. It is not your job, your duty, your responsibility, your marital vows, conviction, or covenant to care about people at church and what they think about you not attending. Now, what I will say to you is that you can definitely talk about this with your husband, because this is the person you're married to, and find out how he feels about your thoughts and let him probably calm and, give clarity and peace and reassurance to that. He may say, baby, I'm fine. Don't worry about that. What people say at church is not our business. I will never be swayed by what other people say. So honestly, I feel like you should go to your husband with this concern and say, baby, honey, I know that I'm not going. I appreciate you for supporting that decision. But ultimately, I've just been feeling, as if though, I care about what other people may say. And I care about how other people may perceive me not coming and you coming with the kids. I don't want people to think we're not together or we're not happy or that I've backslid or whatever. You can openly express this to the person that you're sharing and doing life with, that you love. That vulnerability is refreshing. It's so free. It's beautiful to have that. The beauty of marriage to me is that if no one else really knows what I got going on or how I feel about something, my husband knows. And he's able to provide comfort and peace and affirmation or whatever I need. And if he can't do that, I can help him get to the place where he understands more to give that from his standpoint, whatever that support is, whether it's just listening. If he can't really give words of wisdom or encouragement, he can just be there for me to vent and say, baby, we gonna get through this. Sometimes you don't need a whole lot of words. You just need someone there. So you just need him to know what you're feeling so you're not tormented by your thoughts. Because let me tell you something, baby, a lot of people don't care as much as you think they do. But some of the folks at church really do care that much. Some of them, not all of them. But some of them really do be thinking about you like that. And you have to combat that by having a firm foundation in the marriage, the relationship, the home, and the experience that you guys have together. What you guys are building for your family has nothing to do with outside people. People would love to think they have that kind of influence, but that's control, and they shouldn't have that. So if your husband's okay and he supports you, you just need to get that reaffirming, support, validation, but that comes through conversation. Communication is everything. So she goes on to say, they always send messages asking if I'm okay, checking in. OMG. I know they mean well, but I feel like it's making it really hard for me to fully detach, and the guilt starts to set in. I feel like it would be much easier if we didn't go, if we all didn't go. But I realize that is selfish. Yeah. And I'm going to share my story. Let me finish. I've decided to forget what I think people at church are thinking and enjoy my Sunday mornings alone. Very well. Last Sunday, I was able to take a nice long soak in my bathtub while listening to a podcast, then cooked my family a nice lunch for when they got back home from church. I just have to deal with the constant checking in from people at that church. Y'all ready for this? Okay, so let's dive in. Again, thank you so much for this message. Thank you so much for expressing yourself and how you did it. It's so refreshing. It's beautiful. You're aware. You have your feelings. You also have your reasons. And you're not blaming anyone. You're not spewing any toxicity, any anger, any resentment, any bitterness, or anything. You simply have decided to remove yourself because of the burden of attendance and not feeling connected in church. You never once mentioned that God did anything, that you stepped away from your belief system, or that you have a problem with, religion or beliefs or at all, or any of that. You just said you're done with attendance. My, I can relate. Yes, I can. That's why I'm at home with my friends. Shout out to my family. It's okay what you're feeling. I just want to validate you first, but I'm not your husband. But I want to let you know that it's okay. The next thing I want to do is, I know some people say, well, that's Holy Spirit convicting her. No, it's not. It's not, though. It's actually years and years and weeks and months and days of attending a place out of routine that you start feeling bad about no longer having in your schedule, that you have to, purge yourself, free yourself from that occurrence, feeling like you have to do it, or like you're wrong for not doing it, or as if you're missing something when you're not doing it. That's what this is. This is what she's feeling. Now, the messaging and asking if you're okay and checking in, that's natural. That happened to me. So to give backstory, when I first stopped going to church, because I stopped going first, like you. It was because there were occurrences. There were hurtful occurrences that took place in our ministry where I was offended. I'm not going to lie. I was offended. I was hurt. I was bothered. I was attacked physically. My pastor did not handle it right, but that was the straw. That was the breaker of the camel's back, honey. I didn't like it. I didn't respect it. I didn't appreciate it. And I just decided I no longer needed to be in that environment. I would end up going back to church, though, somewhere else. But in between that happening, I stopped going to that church. And I did not try to influence my husband to not go. I didn't get in his ear and tell him, you need to stop going too. And I don't even know why you still going. You know what they did to us. You already know how he operates. You already know he a liar. He this and that. I didn't have to do that. I wanted to in the beginning, But then I was like, leave him alone. He'll figure it out. And if he never figures it out, that's not my problem. He kept going. I got some calls. I got some voice messages. I never answered any of the calls, but I got some voice messages asking me, well, not asking, but just saying, we miss you. We miss seeing you. Oh, we miss you on the praise team, or people, specifically speaking on the situation, or I know what happened and such shouldn't have done that. And she just did that because she was hurt. And I never responded to the voicemail. I let people have whatever belief they wanted to have about me not being there, but I never let their belief in their emotion and their thought of what I should do impact what I was going to do. Because what was best for me is what I chose to do. When you go to church, that is your choice. Where you go to church is your choice. When you stop going, that is your choice. If you choose another church to go to, it's your choice. What is not someone else's choice is telling you, well, no, that's their choice too to call you, but they don't have a say in whether or not you're okay because you no longer come. I am just fine. I'm fine. Keep on calling me if you want to, but eventually you're going to have to tell them why you're not coming or that you're not coming back. Thank you so much for checking on me. Right now, I'm in a season where I'm okay where I am. Me and my husband have talked about it, and you won't be seeing me, but thank you so much for checking in. That's if you ever want to say that or express that. But for me, I just didn't answer any calls because you still see him. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Y'all know what the pastor is doing. Y'all know he's a problem too, but y'all still there. Leave me alone. I didn't want to get on the phone and talk about him to them. I didn't want to talk about my husband to them or why he's still going. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to be left alone. And eventually they did. Eventually people will leave you alone. They will. Maybe they ask your husband about you and he say, oh, you should call and check on her. I don't know. But this is something y'all can talk about and communicate. Baby, if they ask you about me, just tell them I'm doing fine. I'll tell her you asked about her. But y'all are grown and y'all ain't got to answer nothing, including questions, phone calls, emails, text messages. Nobody is required. Nobody is important enough for you to break your peace to give them an answer. That's my take on that. Now, for you to want him to not go, him and the kids to not go at all, I honestly feel like that's selfish. Everybody should come to their own conclusion and decision on their own, based off of their own experiences, their own convictions, their own beliefs. If he's not having a problem with church or going, I don't feel like he should have to give up that experience. That's just me. I was willing to let my husband still have his experience. If he still wanted to go to church today, or if I wanted to go, I know he would and by saying let me, I mean he wouldn't try to impose his will upon me. He would let me freely, without pressure, without questioning me, without being upset, without throwing shade. Okay, I'll see you and get back. Because you have to understand, everybody needs something different in their lives for whatever reason. And you have to respect that. You want to be at home. You want to enjoy your Sunday mornings, and your husband is respecting that. How would you feel if he was trying to force you to, or giving you an ultimatum of being a family at all if you didn't? It wouldn't be right. So if he's okay with it, with what you're doing and what you need in this season of life, you have to be okay with what he's doing and what he needs. Because this is possible. It's possible to love people with differing of opinions and beliefs and practices, as long as it doesn't infringe upon your freedoms, your liberties, and your rights. This is the beauty of being mature. This is the beauty of being free. Now, for your children, maybe, I don't know, maybe you would want to talk about if sometimes you want them to stay home with you and you want to take them for a walk, or you guys want to go to a park or a zoo or do a picnic or something. I want the girls to stay with me this weekend. Great. He probably ain't gonna trip. But that's communication, and that's conversation, and that's, what's that word? Compromise, because you all are a unit. Even though you guys don't go to church as a unit, you're still a unit. Church is one occurrence, one day a week, maybe twice if you go to Bible study midweek. But ultimately, that is one occurrence, an experience. You have the rest of your lives together. That's the beauty. So don't ruin that just because you decided to step away from organized religion in church format. I love that you enjoy your Sunday. I love that you are using that time. I mean, like for me, I would say continue to do that. Continue to get that restoration and be whole and to be happy and to be well for your family and for yourself ultimately. And however that translates for your husband, that may be something where he may, you know, ultimately want to join you for that. Maybe one Sunday, maybe forever. We don't know. But sometimes I feel like with wanting to take something from someone, it could be like pulling a pin out of a grenade. Some people need certain experiences and environments and rituals, if you will. Like some people need certain things in their schedule to keep them balanced and going. And if that works for him, let that work for him. If meditation for me in the morning works for me, I peel out of my bed at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, come upstairs to my office and meditate. My husband ain't tripping. I got to do this for me. It helps me balance and level out my day, and vice versa. Whatever he decides to do, we're all independent individuals who get married and come together and we're in relationships, but we're ultimately still our individual selves that have our own needs, thoughts, feelings, emotions, opinions. But when you come together with the person, that doesn't mean all of that about you ceases to exist. You still are you. Your name is yours. Your social is yours. Your feelings are yours. So let him have his, ultimately. But I think this is beautiful. I think this is beautiful how you guys are understanding each other, how you guys are working together, and how you're navigating this respectfully. And thank you so much for reaching out to even just ask for clarity. Sometimes, and I know this, you know, from my psychologies and my studies in psychology, so the biggest part of therapy is realization. You can find the answer to whatever you're dealing with or whatever you need help with from talking about it, from opening up and presenting all of the points. Because before I even finished reading her message, she already answered herself. Okay? But it's sometimes just being able to flush that out and have someone ask you. I asked her one question, y'all. I said, what would you like the outcome to be? What would you like the outcome to be? Because you have to be able to process through your feelings and sit with that and say, why am I doing this? What do I want from this? What do I get out of this? What is this doing to me? And here we have it. She's enjoying her Sundays. Him and the children are still going. She gets some phone calls and some text messages sometimes, but they'll stop. I'm telling you they're going to stop. Because it's only going to be so long before they start realizing, oh, this is what it is. And they're going to respect it and move on to the next member. They're going to move on to the next member. Because that's what this is what happens. This is how this works in organized religion. You're not wrong. But I definitely feel like you can communicate with your husband and just clear the air, what you're feeling, and also stay in tune with what he's feeling too. Ask him how he feels about it, because his opinion matters too. It's his family as well. You are his wife, and he is a covering, and he believes, you know, in clearly having a foundation for your family. So you guys need to stay on one accord. Whatever you do, do not ever feel like it's you against him, or like it's him in the church versus you. I don't want that to creep in. I kind of felt like that's what was going to happen if my husband kept going. But it didn't happen because he stopped going. It was funny because I actually wanted to return to church and go to another church without him, because he was still going to the other one. Because I didn't want to sit out of church. I just didn't want to go to that one no more at first, right? And he was like, no, just wait. Like, don't do that. I don't want you to go to no other church just yet, because I wouldn't. Same reason. He didn't want anyone else to see me at church by myself somewhere else and think that him and I weren't together or that we weren't happy. So I get it. This is the mental conditioning that has been done to us, y'all, in church. The opinion of people, the perception of people is so strong. And I think it's so sad. It's so sad because we're humans that have a right to do what we want, but church becomes our all in all and our rule and measurement of which we're actually doing something right or sinful. And it's sad because it's your choice the whole time. Man, ooh. Bondage in church is so real. So I'm glad you're free, and I'm glad that your husband is free to do what he desires. But whatever you do, do not let that thought process creep in that it's you versus him, because you guys are in this together no matter what. Okay. All right. If you guys are have enjoyed this video, drop down in the comment section below and let me know what feedback would you give this viewer. as well as how do you feel about it? How do you feel about husbands and wives not going to church together, or one going and one not going, or one going to one church and one going to the other? What are your thoughts about that? I know how I was raised to think about it. It's not right. It's unequally yoked. That shouldn't be happening. But this is life, and marriage is real. So let's have this conversation down in the comment section below. I'll join in with you guys. If you've enjoyed the video, like and subscribe to the channel. I would love to add you to my 2 cents crew. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.